Okay, so there's a new thing that we should all be aware of. I guess just as users, of the internet, and by default we all use Google. There's several 100 million people that use Facebook, that kind of stuff. And what it's called is called a national security letter. Now, what a national security letter is it's a request. Not even a request, because requests can be denied. It's a demand for information from government agencies like the FBI. They do it the most, and they send these letters to Google. I guess Microsoft with Bing, all these other services where they, for some sort of a national, for some famed quote-unquote national security issue, request this information. It could be for your Gmail account, information that you've been searching for on Google, that kind of stuff. And it's warrantless. So they do not require a warrant to be able to request and access this information from Google. So the catch is that also when you get one, so let's say the FBI sends one over to Google, they want your Gmail. They want access to your Gmail. They want data from your Gmail for emails that you were sending back, and they claim that it's for some sort of national security issue via one of these letters. It's an electronic request or demand for data. So what happens is they it's also issued with a gag order. So when you receive one, you're not allowed to talk about that you got one. You can't notify the person that it's about. So if it's for you, Google's not allowed to tell you, hey, we got this national security letter where the government was requesting your information. We just wanted to give you a heads up. They're not allowed to do that. They're not allowed to talk about any specifics of the request. Generally, you're not allowed to say that you got one. I guess Google found out some loophole in that matter, where what they do is they have a page on the Google, I think it's on the Google blog, where each month they print and disclose how many requests that they've gotten, because Google is basically pushing back against this. Google doesn't agree with this practice. I'm sure there's others, as Google happens to be at the forefront because it's Google and they're massive and they have more information than most other companies could ever possibly dream to have on people and their searches and their access to information on the web. So Google last week went to court over it, and basically the plain way of explaining what happened is the FBI said to Google, hey, here's your letter, give us this information. And they said, no, we're not going to give you that. You don't have a warrant. Get a warrant and we'll give it to you. Google's always been very good about complying with law, and government requests, so long as they do their process, right? That's the whole reason why the law is there. Get a warrant. You got a warrant? Fine. Then we'll comply with you. But to give you access to our users' information with no reason, without a warrant, then we're not going to do that. So the FBI went over to the judge and said, fine. Hey, judge, Google, we have this letter here, and Google won't give us the information that we're requesting. They want us to get a warrant, and we don't need one because we have this letter. And a judge recently agreed. The same judge, I think I saw in a story not too long ago, said, you know what, Google's right. You shouldn't have access to this just because you have this letter. But I think it was the same judge who now says, no, you're right, FBI, you don't need the warrant, so Google, you got to give it up. So it's obviously not going to be the end of this issue, but it should be something that basically, if you've ever used a Google search box before in your life, you should be aware of. And this is a real thing. I usually don't go into political stuff. I usually talk about a lot of tech stuff and geeky stuff because that's what I am. I'm a geek. So, but it is kind of weird, and we're all for our security. You know, I guess in anything that somebody calls a post 9/11 world, security is important to all of us, but we also don't want that being abused. So really the best way for people to kind of understand about these things is awareness. So whether you're one person who watches me talking about this, or 100 people to see me talking about this, that's one more person that didn't know before that this is actually real and it happens. So check it out online. Talk about it with people and see what we can do to make this go away, because this ain't cool.